So this creator that we called out for tracing AI. And this one was because their art was in this big gray area where they would like do sketches and draw over the sketches. So it's like they can't possibly be tracing because they drew a bunch of sketches and then their drawing would be like perfectly on the line of something that isn't really seen on the canvas, but they look like they're tracing something. So it was very sus. And then there was an image that was revealed that really made it look like they traced AI. And it was because there is what looks to be an AI image below their drawing. So it is very, very, very suspicious. So this video was sent to us by Nyarishi. So thank you so much for this video.
So, I found it. A smoking gun. It's a big scandal. You cracked the case, all that digging, all those group chats, and here it is. Me? Tracing my own art.
This was the image in question, right? This was the digital image that everybody, myself too, felt was or looks very AI-esque. And in the speed paint that Koya had posted, it was a speed paint of her sketching on a blank white canvas, and for a split second, she toggles on this drawing and then continues to trace and immediately toggles it off, but a screenshot was grabbed and it looks extremely suspicious. So the extra context, it wasn't a commission, but Koya was doing art where they were like drawing people, so this was a cosplayer that was chosen.
I hope the investigation was thrilling. The clues, the theories, the group chats, all of it leading to this moment.
So here we have the image. It's so blurry.
Congratulations, Sherlocks of the internet. No, seriously. Let me explain what's actually going on here. The cut you're seeing shows me tracing of an old drawing. And yes, that's my own drawing. I wanted to recreate it because there were things in the original version that I didn't like. So I reused the sketch because I wanted to fix things. This is something many artists do. Redrawing your own work isn't illegal, it isn't dishonest, it's how improvement happens.
I mean, that's definitely true, right? Like many artists like to redraw their own work. I will sometimes redraw my own work because it's fun to see how much you progress. A lot of artists compare themselves to other artists, but the best person to compare yourself and the only person is your past self. And the best way to do that is to draw your own art. Typically, that doesn't mean you take your own art and you trace it directly over your own artwork. That does not make sense. Normally you would look at your own art and draw it again so you can see how you improved. If you directly trace your own artwork, you then didn't improve because you just traced old work. It will look like your old work. That doesn't make sense. And yeah, the extra context from Nyari, it was a Chibi Friday weekly drawing challenge where somebody was chosen to be drawn. So you stalked this person, you drew them a year ago, and then somehow knew they were gonna comment on this post and drew them again. I am awfully confused by.
Some redraw the same piece every year to track their progress.
The absolute best way to test how much your art skills have improved over a given time is to take an old work of yours and recreate or paint over it.
They say recreate, you know, not directly trace it, but
I sketched because I didn't feel like starting from scratch. I wanted to focus on evolving the art, not just rebuilding it.
okay, I'm sorry. This just sounds very absurd to me. Because again, if the focus was to like evolve the artwork, if it is true that this is your older piece that you traced over, tracing it over isn't evolving the piece, it is literally drawing it the exact same way possible. For context, Nyari, ChatGPT chibis get cropped like hers, and if you overlay both drawings, you'll notice the lines match completely. In here, Koya is arguing that she traced, yes. So she's not denying the fact she traced. She's just arguing the fact that she traced her own work and not an AI-generated image. She is admitting that she did trace here. This is also the other thing, because again, here, quote, Koya doesn't trace over AI images, quote, end quote. Who wants to be next? This was the chibi drawing challenge, right? Did you see that? Let me back that up. If that's the case, if you are so proud that you traced your own work to learn, evolve, why did you hide it then? Like, why didn't you just say, oh, I'm recycling an old art piece for this Chibi Friday week 3 drawing challenge, and I'm just gonna trace it over and rework it? Like, they faked an entire sketch, an entire, like, line art that they're doing here before they toggle the image on and off, okay? Why go through all of that? Why not just have your chibi in the corner too? Have your chibi in the top right and then sketch with those two as references. The story is not making any sense at all.
I made specific changes. The roses were
What changes? The mouth shape is the same, the roses look the same. Oh, well, I guess one petal overlaps the different way now. The mouth color is a little different, I'll give you that.
redrawn. I just didn't like how they looked. I changed the mouth. In the first picture, I kept it really dark so that the black lipstick wouldn't pop up that much, like it should.
Like, I don't mean to sound rude, but where was the redesign? This is the reason why when Koya explains things, nobody really believes them. And when I go into these, I try to give benefit of doubt. I truly do. But it's because like as an artist, if you do things, you would then be able to explain why you did it, right? Like, okay, you redesigned the flowers. Cool. Why? Because they look the same. So what was the choice you made to go from flower A to flower B? You know? Like same with the necklace. The necklace looks literally the same. So what was the redesign? What change did you do? Was it because, oh, you didn't like how the ring on the dress was creating a tangent and it was kind of muddying the line work here? So you made the ring a little bigger so it wouldn't overlap with the dress? Is it because you didn't like the way the flower petals were sitting on her hair? So you wanted to, like, what's the reason? And the thing is, like, there were things that were changed, but then the actual errors in the artwork weren't altered. The horns are still uneven. Again, nothing wrong with drawing things uneven. Like all artists make mistakes. It could be an artistic choice, but like the elements that were changed didn't really make sense as to why they were changed. So the point that I'm trying to make is that if you're arguing, I made it better, I don't really see the better part because it looks the same.
I completely changed the colors. I preferred the more vibrant palette over the muted, washed up tones of the original.
It's probably because the muted tones of the original have the like pea stain that AI pieces have, and people were calling you out for the pea stain color, so you had to change it, you know? That's what it sounded to me.
What really gets me is double standard. Usually I get criticized for not reusing my own sketches. People say I redraw too much. That I finally do reuse the base. Suddenly it's rude. I'm using AI. You really can't run with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. I know this won't convince the ones who want to hate me. That's fine. But for those who genuinely wanted context, there it is. Thanks for listening, and to the amateur detectives, good hustle. See you in the next conspiracy.
I think this is just a very interesting video. I'm very open-minded to hearing as to how it's not AI, but after the explanation, it makes even less sense to me personally, for again, all of the things mentioned, okay? One, if you're redrawing an art piece, that's totally normal. Artists do that all the time. Why trace it then? If your intention is to redraw to show how much you improved, you did not change the art in any aspect that looks notable. That art piece was again done for the Chibi Friday Week 3 where you pick somebody and you draw them as a chibi. So what do you mean you conveniently have an old art piece that looks exactly like her laying around that you then redrew for this? And it looks exactly the same as her conveniently. Like, that makes no sense. If it all is true, right? If it was an old piece you redrew, in this speed paint that you posted to your own page, you pretended that it was a brand new piece that you drew, right? Because it started with a white canvas with a sketch and then some line art, and they accidentally toggled on the layer below. Why not own up from the start? Have the reference image. Like, none of that makes any sense. I just refuse to believe that. Oh, they have some new videos up. Yeah, they're showing like a sketching process. Yeah, this is recent. This is in like end of August. I think the thing is, okay, look, I think the thing is at the end of the day, right? And we've seen this with like their artwork. They clearly can draw. They have an Instagram page where you can go through and you can see pieces that look like legitimate pieces that they've made. And then they have pieces that look suspiciously like AI, and it's a bit confusing because you know what I mean? Most AI fakers, like people who do stuff like this, alleged AI fakers, they have some capacity to draw. A lot of them just choose not to for some reason or another, and it's never understandable as to why. It's just interesting. What are your thoughts at the end of the day of the response? Do you think it's satisfactory? Do you think it was not? Do you think the stuff isn't adding up? Anyways, don't send hate to them. At the end of the day, they're doing their thing, and they will continue to do whatever they choose to do. Just thought I would share the response with you guys because we did cover the situation with them in a previous video. So if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there for streamers and creators like emotes. I also have a coffee with free resources for streamers like a free sponsorship guide, and I stream on Twitch 3 days a week where this was recorded Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. Hope to catch you guys there or in another video. Peace.